Hello, guys. Welcome, everybody, to Purple A's podcast. I am your host who bleeds purple and gold, Isaac here. So the Vikings, they get their fourth straight win in dramatic fashion in Soldier Field against the Chicago Bears. Final score 30-27. This is the type of game where it's just the Vikings win in classic Vikings fashion. I mean, the level of emotions with yesterday's game, dude. My gosh, I am 21 and I feel like this game has aged me like a solid 10 years, bro. Like, I am not exaggerating, man. This was a roller coaster of emotions, but was not pretty at all. But the Vikings still got the win So let's start off with the good though. Let's start off with the good. I think basically Sam Darnold. This might have been the best game of his career that he has played. And there was no bonehead ways. This was in spite of Cam Robinson going down in the middle of the game. This was, in spite of having spotty offensive lineman play, not Justin Jefferson not have take the Bears taking away their number one target, and he still came to play. 22 of 34, 330 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks. He was awesome, especially the main drive in overtime was the one that I highlight the most about Sam Darnold. He put this team on his back. What do? He overcome a lot of adversity in overtime. He had a sack, he had a false start, and a holding penalty, all resulted in first and longs, and yet he converted, I believe this was the field goal drive. He converted 3rd and 13 and 3rd and 12. Well, okay, he converted a 3rd and 12, not a 3rd and 13. He converted a 3rd and 12 to get the field goal to go up by 2 scores. And the drive in overtime. And yet, still, in spite of all of those miscues, those little miscues, Sam Darnold still converted all of those. He converted all of those into first downs and made big-time plays. He was locked in today, and he also evaded pressure too as well. I feel like he's going to very well be a strong candidate for comeback player of the year. I mean, I feel like, though, it's already becoming. I felt like after the Jaguars game, I'm like, I don't think that's going to happen. But now, yeah, totally, man. I don't see why not. He did not turn the ball over at all. I didn't see any boneheaded throws that he made. I never saw once. So Sam Darnold, respect to him yesterday. And this was against a very good Bears defense. They were top 10 in pass. He had 330 yards, and he led the offense with 452 yards total. Amazing job by Sam Darnold, by number 14, man. Shout out to him. Aaron Jones got off to a slow start by fumbling the ball at the 1-yard line. He, after that, he played pretty good, honestly. 22 carries for 106 yards and a touchdown. 3 catches for 23 yards. 129 total yards. He didn't have a bad game by any means. Don't let that fumble fool you. Yes, that's on him, but overall, I thought he played really well. Jordan Addison, his best career game ever. Give this man the ball by any means necessary. 8 catches, 162 yards, and a touchdown. He is a very good compliment to Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson was nowhere to be found, but that's okay because Jordan Addison is going to make those plays whenever you give him the ball. Man, he's absolutely he played his butt off yesterday. And TJ Hawkinson alongside with him, 7 catches, 114 yards. Mainly most of the damage was later in the game by TJ Hawkinson, and in overtime converted a big third down to seal converted a big first down to seal the game and get the win. I mean, amazing job by TJ Hawkinson. He's all the way back, man. And you can give these two the ball because you want to double cover Justin Jefferson? That's okay. Go ahead. Jordan Addison to TJ Hawkinson will go off on you. That is the Justin Jefferson effect right now. And also the defense, as dicey as it was, they made, for the most part, they were pretty good. Harrison Smith led the team in tackles, 9 tackles, had some really big plays in the run and in the passing game. He was all over the place, just a missile in the secondary. Jonathan Grenard, he came up big on one of the plays that he had. He had 2 sacks, including a crucial sack in overtime to force the Bears to go 3 and out. Amazing stuff. Jonathan Grenard has been awesome. Andrew Van Ginkel had a sack too as well. And Jerry Tillery also had a very big play on a blocked field goal to basically set them up in midfield, to set the Vikings up midfield to get them a touchdown. Very good stuff by Jerry Tillery and Brian Asamoah for running that kick. Let's see, anything else. John Parker Romo also came up clutch, not just once, but also twice. When you needed to go up by 2 scores, he got you that field goal. And when you needed that win, he got that field goal too as well, man. He was 3 for 3 for field goals, 3 for 3 on extra points. If not for the missed extra point against the Tennessee Titans, he's perfect besides that, man. John Parker Romo has been nails all season, just like Will Reichert. And it's good to see that we have a complementary kicking game. And then we get to, let's get to some of the bads now as to how the game went down the way that it did. First, Aaron Jones didn't necessarily have a bad game. He did not really have a bad game at all. But the fumble at the 1 is a killer. You were marching down the field with 3. He had 2 big runs just to fumble it at the 1. Are you serious right now? You basically, essentially, at the very least, left another 3 points off the board. So if you don't fumble at the 1, the game doesn't go to overtime. And then we get to the 4th quarter sequence where it was a complete meltdown. The Vikings, the entire way, only held them, besides that touchdown drive the Bears had, they only held them to 3 points. But the 4th quarter sequence of how this game went down the way that it should not have been, the 4th and 1 play call. Vikings are marching down the football field, and I don't mind the fact that the Vikings went. I like the decision that Kevin O'Connell went for, but I don't like the play call. You basically did an empty set. Which is you're telling them that you're going to pass, and it fell incomplete. The problem with that is that the Bears did not have to guess what you were doing at all. They just knew that you were passing the football, and you did it anyways. You couldn't just maybe do shotgun, maybe do something else than just that, or do an I formation. Do something other than that. Instead, you told the defense you were passing the football, and technically you just basically gave them free momentum. I feel like that gave them the momentum that you should not have given. And then that ultimately gifted the Bears life. And then they used that to make it an 8-point game. And then the Vikings go down with like under 2 minutes left in the game. They scored a field goal to go up by 2 scores. All right. Looks like the Vikings win. We can breathe easy. But that's under the exception. The Vikings allowed the Bears to march all the way down the football field after a special teams gave up at the 40-yard line, somewhere around midfield. You gave them short field position. They score a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. Okay, just recovered the onside kick. And I'll tell you what, that's on Johnny Munt. The onside kick hit him. He had it. He was right there. And instead, he let go of the football and the Bears recovered it. That's on Johnny Munt. And then the Bears used that with under 20 seconds. Under 20 seconds, they were able to get a field goal out of that. The Vikings defense allowed 11 points in under 2 minutes. And all of a sudden, it was a game. And the Bears got the ball. We thought this was over. But luckily, though, the defense actually got a stop and came forth. The defense, they gave up some pretty big plays to Caleb Williams and Keenan Allen. But they were dicey at times, which is the dicey part, is that they could not stop Caleb Williams. I mean, they did a pretty good, decent job against him, but they overall still almost allowed 350 passing yards, which is not acceptable. They shut down the run, which is what I expected, but the passing game, they did not. But I feel like out of that whole sequence, the ultimate momentum shifter in the fourth quarter was Kevin O'Connell's 4th and 1 play call to just, like, you can't ultimately gift the Bears free momentum, okay? I get that maybe, okay, they were up by 2 scores later in the game. I mean, usually stuff like that happens, but you got to try your best to make sure that does not happen. Like, build up a lead. So, essentially, you left another 3 points off of the board where that could have been handy for you. You would have outright won this game 33-27 and not in overtime. You would have outright won that game if you did not do that like that. Or, I mean, you won, but not in overtime. So, it's just, that's my one frustrating thing about Kevin O'Connell is he didn't coach a bad game overall, but it's those little things, that one play call that's going to make a difference. And ultimately, that one play call, that 4th and 1 play call, made that difference. And it made it a game for no reason. But, I mean, Kevin O'Connell needs to be better, ultimately, or give up play calling. That's all I can say. But other than that, it was definitely a roller coaster of emotions, but a win is a win. I mean, I will certainly take it. 3 straight wins on the road. Really good stuff from the Vikings. So they're 9-2. Who would have knew? Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you guys hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Skull Vikings.